Hey guys, Scott with the Hydroponic Gardener again. I had a subscriber ask about how I transplant plants that I've started in soil into my hydroponic buckets. So I wanted to demonstrate that today so that you would know how to do that. Ultimately, you'll have a little seed start where you've got a small cup of soil that you're using. So what you'll need to do is obviously separate that from the container, and then you have this ball of roots that you're going to want to wash down, and I'll have you come up a little closer here so you can zoom in on this. Any kind of hose will work. You just want to put a gentle spray on the bottom of it like this, and you just don't want it to be so hard that it tears your roots, because you got to keep those intact obviously. But you'll wash all that down the best you can. Obviously you want to get most of the, if not all of the soil off of it, because you don't want to have any kind of extra organisms or bacteria in your solution as it cycles through your recirculating system, depending on what you're putting it in. So you'll rinse all this off here. All right. So just like that, and that's what you want to try and get it down to. I've seen people with smaller plants, you can get away with just dipping it in a cup of water, but when they've got a little bit bigger root base to them, that's kind of hard to do, to get a lot of the dirt off, and really you want to try and get as much off as you can. So once you've done this, it's ready to be transplanted into your container. So we'll walk over there and I'll show you how we're doing that. So at this point, we go ahead and put it in our container. In my system, I prefer to have them in the back, behind the container. I'll end up adjusting this instead of in the front, just because it is going to eventually go to the trellis when it gets a little taller. But I'll stick it right here, and then I'll fill in my hydroton into the container that I've got it in. And you kind of want to have it in there a pretty good distance, just to make sure that it's got some support, depending on what you're putting it into. Just like that, and then I'll end up attaching some wire to it probably when it gets a little bit taller, just to help guide it over to the trellis so it'll grow up that. What it'll do is, as it grows, it'll attach itself to the trellis and take off from there. That's how I do my transplants if I'm starting from soil and have to move it over to my nutrient solution. But you do want to get rid of all that dirt, just to make sure that it takes care of that problem, so you don't have dirt getting into your system. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be updated on our new videos. Thanks, and have a great day, guys. Bye.